Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Kick it away to start us off. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, that they get him on the ground at the 20. The Nittany Lions offense will have the first possession of the game. Blowouts in rivalry games can be the result of a number of factors. Teams start pressing. Sometimes it just gets away. Sometimes they didn't have the right mindset. The last time they got together, lopsided. What happens this time, David?
But either way, last time affects this time, because all you've heard about is we weren't even competitive. This is a rivalry game, a big-time game. We didn't show up. We dishonored our...
Turns on the Jets. Inside the 30. Pass attack. Touchdown, Penn State. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
What a way to start this game offensively. You find the matchup you like, you put it in his hands, and he does the rest. The defense looks like they were sleepwalking out there to start this game. One play, they go the distance to score a touchdown. This defense better wake up.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So the Michigan State Spartans offense has the ball for the first time. And what a performance, an aerial show from this guy in the last game, and he has to have a ton of confidence coming into this one, David.
Yeah, it was a great week. And watching that tape before this game, like you could tell, man, he was seeing it quick. The ball was coming out, just touchdowns at will. A really nice day. And I think, Jesse, you take that and you start to build on it for this offense and really continue to trust him to make plays through the air.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think he really earned his offensive coordinator's trust after that performance. So I'm anticipating the playbook to expand a little bit in this game. Maybe see some new schemes in the passing game just based on what this guy was able to do the last time he took the field.
The Spartans with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. From the gun, the ground game. There he goes. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
Man, this guy just has a lot of skills when he's toting the rock, doesn't he? He's got speed, but he's also physical. Kind of reminds you of great Michigan State running backs. Guys like Le'Veon Bell or T.J. Duckett. They could run guys over, but once they got in the second level, they could take it the distance. This guy has skills like that.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Handoff to the lone back. He has an extensive juke library, and he exhausted it and still didn't pick up much. Now facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Works the middle of the field. Good, picked up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
And that's where we've got to make this offensive coordinator feel good. You get a completion on a big third down early in the game, and that should give him a lot of confidence calling plays this game.
They're testing the right side here. Fighting off the defender. Still on his feet. He's finally shoved out of bounds at the 23-yard line, and a big pickup on that one. And the Spartans have it with a 1st and 10. Complete. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. From the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Last couple of plays, the offense seems to be just one step ahead, David.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to do something to disrupt the timing, the rhythm. I got to do something that they're not expecting, because right now they got the run and they got the pass working, so this defense, they're going to have to find something new to kind of confuse this offense.
Let's talk a little bit about Michigan State. Really interesting matchup here. It's always fun when the top two teams in the conference get to square off in the regular season. With all the expansion, it's become a little bit of a rarity, hasn't it?
It has. Obviously, there's so many teams in each conference, but head-to-head still very much matters. So if you're sitting, obviously, at the top like these teams are, the head-to-head this day will really matter down the road.
Yeah, this was a game we circled way back in the preseason, expecting these two teams to be as good as they are, and now we get to find out who's the best in conference. Both these teams relishing this opportunity to show not only their opponent, but the rest of the conference who the top dog.
Touchdown, Michigan State! The finisher, the exclamation point on that drive. A methodical drive that they finish off by tossing it to the tight end.
And the tight end, I'll tell you what, this is a position that's evolved so much, right? And you see him move all over the field. It's kind of like, where is Waldo? You got to find this big fella, especially down in the red zone area. This is the guy they're going to target and make the big play, get the touchdown.
The extra point here would tie the game. And he tacks on the extra point. They put together a 74-yard touchdown drive, and the capper a 19-yard toss for the touchdown. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And he takes this from inside the 5. He goes out of bounds on that return right at the 20-yard line. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Boy, that last touchdown, the one-play quick strike scored. Jesse, this offense hoping to keep that kind of explosiveness going.
I don't know if they're going to get the same looks defensively because of just how explosive that play was, Reese. David, they may be seeing a little bit more off coverage on this drive and maybe some softer boxes to run into.
And when you make that kind of explosive play, you're going to put the defense on its heels. They're going to be a little bit more conservative. So this offense approach now, maybe I don't have to go deep. I can go a little bit shorter and just make those easy plays underneath.
Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place trying to help their defense. And he's knocked down. The Nittany Lions want to move quickly.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. The noise bouncing off of Sparty's armor as they encourage the green and white on third down. Out of the backfield, he's open. Love to see these third down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line.
Well, he was putting up big numbers coming into this one. We knew the quarterback was going to go his way early and often. And with that last catch, he's now got over 500 yards receiving on the year.
From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Making side adjustments here. Looking to throw on 1st down. Firing to the right, complete. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st down.
As a head coach, you love to see your quarterback locked in early in games. And in the first drive, he leads the offense down to a touchdown, throws a TD pass, and here he is again, making a really good decision and a very accurate throw to pick up that 1st down.
Looking down the middle. Got his man downfield. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking downfield on 1st down. A shot toward the end zone. Oh, it's picked off. Taking it the other way. They finally get him down, but a huge return. Not only do they get the ball back, but man, did they set up some field position. They'll start this drive and snap it from the 40. The give to the tailback. And he fights his way forward, gets away from one, but not much doing on that one.
There's just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
Nice job by this defense playing assignment football. Somebody has to have the quarterback. Somebody has to have the pitch. And most importantly, when you get there, you got to get him on the ground. Nice job tackling by this defense.
And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
And the defense was all over it. They know 3rd down, the quarterback could be a viable threat in the run game. Played physical, played close to the line of scrimmage, made the big stop.
The Spartans will try to pin them back with the punt. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. He'll field the punt and see what he can get. He's able to pick his way for just a bit, but he'll be stopped at the 18. Good job by the punt team. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen.
Breaks into the open. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a 1st down.
Man, they have got a weapon in this offense right there at running back. This dude is tremendous. You think about Franco Harris, you think about Kajana Carter, Curtis Enos, Saquon Barkley, time and time again. Penn State running backs wearing defenses down. This guy is a problem, and this defense better find a way to slow him down.
We played one, and we are right back where we started, all tied up after the first period as we take a look at the stats. We've got a good one going here and looking forward to keep those vibes rolling here in the second. So 1st down here as they go back to work. They'll give it to him again. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Nittany Lions with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. The give out of the gun. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. Might be changing the route. He's looking to throw on 3rd and short. Got his man on the right. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down.
I like the running back there on the route and the patience he showed, really setting it up. He got to the defender, he was able to put his foot in the ground, get some separation, catch it, and turn upfield for the first.
The Nittany Lions are marching down the field. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And I like changing things up. I like trying new things. Handing it to the tight end, that's something you don't see very often. A little creativity. Now, there was negativity in the end, but I like the creative thought process of trying to get somebody else the football.
Motion from the wide receiver. Second down, he'll throw it. It's complete to the right. At the 35, he's open. Just what they were looking for. A huge explosive play, and they're inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
And as a defense, how scary is it having to defend this guy? He's one of the fastest players in America, and you saw it on that last play. It's not necessarily throwing him the ball over your head. They just get it to him quickly. The hard part now is running and tackling that guy. Not easy to do.
And he'll be tackled, but there is a flag on the field. A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. Offense getting set for first down. From the gun. And that pass incomplete. The defense got a hand on it. They've generated some momentum with excellent performances in Big Ten play, and you can see them growing game by game.
And that's a big deal, too, in the new-look Big Ten Conference. Back in the day when there were divisions, you know, it was a toss-up every year who was going to win the Big Ten West. That was the easier division. But now, it's just who are the best two teams out of all these teams, all these quality teams. So it's impressive that this team, David, has put themselves in position to play for the championship.
You ain't lying, especially in this conference. Let's be honest, the Big Ten and the SEC, they've separated themselves from everybody else. And so you're competing in this conference in the middle of the season. You can finish strong. Now we're not just talking about conference championships. We're talking about where can we be in the playoff and how much damage we can do in the postseason.
He wants to change this route. Fourth down, they'll pass for it. And it's incomplete. The long pass downfield, they couldn't.
Stays aggressive. They try to throw the football and just we're on the same page. It was an incompletion. He could have done a better job, I think, throwing the ball to his receiver and maybe making it where it's more of a 50-50 ball where he can make a play. Defense gets the big stop.
From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Caught behind the line. It's Rossi. He works his way up to the 33 and is pushed out of bounds.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times they'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Tries to surge ahead on the sneak.
Man, I like the call. 3rd and inches, I feel like I can get a few inches. I just need to fall forward, but this defense more than ready for the quarterback sneak.
You know, I think as a play caller, that just makes you second-guess everything. You'd love to think you can just dial up QB sneak to pick up that first down. Now, you're probably going to have to hand it off to the big fella behind you to keep this drive going.
He couldn't find much running room there. Didn't get a lot of blocking, and he'll step out of bounds. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Boy, that last drive, they had a chance to put 3 on the board and passed. This one needs to be productive, David.
I got no problem with aggressiveness. It was a pretty decent drive. This offense isn't fully clicking yet. They need to get in a little better rhythm, and they need to capitalize on those scoring opportunities.
And they've got the weapons to do that too, David. They've got guys that can make plays in space. They need to focus on them and get them the ball this drive.
Man, this quarterback is having a first half. He's over 200 yards already. Heating up, setting up. Dude, this dude might break his career high in passing. I don't know what it is. Somebody get stats for him.
They'll snap it from the 34 on 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down. Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41. The hurry up now, 2nd down, clock ticking. Looking to fire. Right down the middle. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
On 3rd and long, he'll need to push it downfield. Lets it slip right through his hands, and it'll be 4th down after the rare drop from this dude. And the Nittany Lions will line up to punt it away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Fair catch is made, and they'll mark it at the 19. Michigan State has the ball back, and here comes the offense. Last time they had it, didn't pick up the 1st down. Let's see if they can put something together here. They'll start this drive going to the air. Grab behind the line. It's Carr. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass, as it just never developed. Sometimes it's not about a fancy play design. It's about just getting him the ball and letting him play.
Especially nowadays with running backs being so good out of the backfield. You know they're going to catch it, and there's so many ways to use them, but exactly. Get it to him, let him break tackles, let him make plays. Easy decision.
Grabbed in the backfield. It's Carr. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
You know, that's one as a quarterback. When you see all those defenders around your intended target like that, just throw it in the ground or throw it away. I mean, that's a completion that loses yards. You're just hurting your offense there.
They've got the screen set up. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it. And the Spartans line up to punt it away. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. Little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. In modern college football, Jesse, if there's time, there's an opportunity to attack.
And I like them being aggressive here too, guys. Look, they practiced this all week long. Now you're in that situation to go out there, have some fun, and let it fly.
And defenses are taught to stay deep, play prevent in these situations. So I think you could get a good chunk play and then possibly get a field goal to tackle them before the half.
Deep shot for the end zone. The pass falls incomplete, and there are 8 seconds left.
Well, we know this offense hasn't been able to get it going on the ground so far in this game. Now they're trying through the air, but give this defense credit. They've got a really good game plan. They've got all 11 guys on that side of the ball executing perfectly. Fantastic job in the back end that time, being in position and making sure that thing fell incomplete.
Brought down at the 20-yard line after ripping off the big play. And with just a few seconds remaining here in the first half, they'll try to kick a field goal. They pick the spot. It's going to be about a 37-yard attempt. It is perfect. And with that field goal, they now have the lead. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, rivalry games always bring out a ton of emotions, and they were on full display in that first half. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big, fat W. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how this rivalry matchup plays out.
The Nittany Lions will line up to kick off and start the second half. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Spartans have it back on offense, hoping to play some good ball. After the lack of production in the first half, plenty to talk about. Let's see what they can dial up here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think you stay calm. I think you make adjustments, Jesse. I think you realize what they're doing to us and how can I attack that. But you also tell the guys, low-scoring game, still very much in this. We can still be who we are.
It's a good point. I think on offense, this is not the time to reinvent the wheel. I think you stay true to who you are and what your identity is. And you've got to show confidence in your guys to go out and just execute better here in the second half.
The Spartans in a good spot here with second and short. The give to the right. Oh, he's got some space. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground with the 41.
I bet that running back's eyes got so big. When he gets that handoff going to the right and he sees the huge holes, yes, please.
The defense just didn't flow quickly enough. All of the blockers had leverage on their men.
Man, that defensive line has to get off the ball a little bit better, get some penetration to stop that outside run.
And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
You know, it's difficult for QBs sometimes when you're throwing to your running backs because they're not receivers. You really got to be perfect with the ball placement. You got to make that a catchable throw. A little bit too tough for the RB on that one.
Give to the back. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Man, oh man, that ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way. At least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there. He didn't have any.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Touchdown, Spartans! And with that, they got the lead here in the second half.
You know, sometimes as a play caller, you just don't have to overthink things. I've got a guy who's faster than your guys, and he's just going to run straight down the field. I'm going to throw it way down the field. He's going to make the catch, and we're going to score a touchdown, and that's pretty much what just happened there.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they're up 14-10. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Spirited matchup with ramifications inside CUSA today, guys. Here's how it finished up. FIU was able to cap off a close one inside Silva Stadium with a narrow victory. And that's the mark of a solid program. Pile up wins, build on games like these, and remain focused on the big...
He's going to get loose. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. He is a field-flipping machine. Take it on one end, return it to the other.
And now you get to celebrate. What a beautiful job. We always talk about defense. We always talk about offense. But, man, when your special teams come through for you and score, it is huge, and it provides such a boost for the crowd.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Michigan State has the ball back, and here comes the offense. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. Defense trying to keep this offense from getting a line on who to block. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off, and it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be impatient. You got to keep giving him the football.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Quickly complete. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. They've done a really good job creating the matchups they want out of the slot.
Yeah, dude, get that guy matched up on a linebacker. That guy matched up on a safety. Keep him away from the corners by putting him in the slot. Get him the football. Let him make plays.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air.
You got to be careful if you're the quarterback there. Third down, you see a lot of exotic coverages by the defense. That time they played zone, and he tried to force that football into a real tiny window. He's lucky that one wasn't picked off.
He'll field the punt and look for room. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. They kicked a field goal on the last drive, Jesse. They've got the lead. Don't make a dumb mistake, but maintain your aggressive play calling.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's the play caller right now just taking a look at that script he's got in front of him and finding out where are my playmakers, who can we take advantage of on this defense to get a touchdown here.
Yeah, and just keep moving the ball down the field. Just execute a little bit better in the red zone. There's no need to panic. We're moving the football, and we got the lead.
Looking to throw on first down. And it's incomplete, but the penalty flag has fallen in the holding zone. Let's see what the call is. Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. So after the penalty, a little extra ground to cover on first down. He wants to throw it. Zings it complete to the right. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. A little bit more to go after that last completion. They'll try to pick it up on second down. Back to pass. Punts it out of the air. Got room at the 35. Sprinting away. Touchdown, Penn State. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
And how nice is it to have a playmaker like that I can get the ball out of my hands right to him and say, all right, dude, you got jets, you can fly, catch the slant, make some people miss, outrun some angles, and get all the way to the end zone.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Quick strike offense on that three-play scoring drive. And they finish it in style with a 57-yard toss for 6. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Spartans have it back on offense, hoping to play some good ball. They went 3 and out last time. Now they'll look for some plays that work. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Makes the grab. It's Rossi. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. In their vision of that play, someone would run free after making an easy catch. There was nowhere to run and nowhere to go except down.
Probably looked really good when they drew that one up on the board this week in practice, but obviously a lot more difficult to go out and execute. Give the defense credit. Great stop.
Just a short pass to the tight end. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
And nice job by the defense staying glued to him, getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football, knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
On third down, he drops the throw. Looking for a huge play. It's caught. And they get him down at the 43, but this is the kind of explosive play you want to build on. And the Spartans will snap it on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Catch in the middle, it's Carr. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
What a job up front, and he'll lose a yard on that one.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. Under fire. Didn't have anything working and just had to throw it away on third down.
Not all incompletions are the same. And listen, it's third down. I want to make a play. I want to throw the football down the field, get a first down. But sometimes it's the right decision to do what he just did. Don't make a big turnover. Don't make a big mistake. Just throw the football on the ground.
And they're running out the kicker to give it a try. And he's got it from 57. What a beauty.
How nice is it as a head coach to have a kicker like this? It makes these decisions on fourth down so much easier. Just trot him out there and let him stroke it through the uprights.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. This drive opens up at the 23-yard line. Took the last drive in for a touchdown. They'll try to do it again on this one. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. He's got the back in the middle. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. A 1st and 10 for this offense. Might be calling a hot route. Wants to throw on 1st down. Makes the grab. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the 1st down. Under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And this quarterback has been dialed in all game long. He's making outstanding decisions, and he's been so accurate throwing the football. He's now got over 350 passing yards.
And that's a very productive 1st down play and bringing up 2nd and 3. Wants to go up top. Using the quick game. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down. Just another big play for this guy who spent the entire game wide open, couple of touchdowns there, and he moves the sticks again, David.
Yeah, so I'll keep finding him, Reese. I mean, this is a guy that, listen, we're in the 2nd half now. He's already made plays.
And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! This is like a baseball pitcher that can't miss. He is just pounding the strike zone.
Yeah, it just gets in the zone, right? When you can't miss, you've seen quarterbacks get like that no matter what they do. They're on fire. They're hitting the receivers. And listen, that's also on the defense. The defense has to do a better job making him feel uncomfortable, changing what they're doing in coverage so he's a little bit confused. You can't just let him pick you apart.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. wants to go up top on first down. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
Brings up second down.
We've come to the end of the quarter, and it's Penn State on top. And they've built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we've gotten here. One more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen. So the final period starts with a second down play. Looking to fire. And he'll chuck that one away and save the down. Nobody was able to get open. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Oh, he wants it all. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. No signs of any kind of kickers. They'll leave the offense out there to try to move those chains. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. Oh, it's picked off. Good gain on the return, and this defense has set them up with a big play.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's 4th down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
Spits it out to the back. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
We know about this running back's versatility, and he's made some plays in this game so far, catching the ball. That time, though, he had no shot. Defender bearing down on him. They're able to get the hit and make sure it falls incomplete.
Takes the easy throw in the flat. That'll be a gain of about 7, leaves him with 3rd and 3.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
Got some room in it to the goal line. Touchdown, Penn State! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. That one ought to give them firm control of this game, and they have gotten things going here, about to move to 4-1. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
Michigan State has the ball back, and here comes the offense. Last drive ended with an interception, and they can't afford to have that happen again. He'll start this drive firing. Snagged out of the air. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the big fella. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
So now it's 2nd and long. Back to pass. Quickly out to the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. The Spartans come to the line in the hurry-up. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
The offense came into this game knowing that for them to win, they were going to have to make some big plays throwing the football. That just has not been the case. Here in the fourth quarter, they've been held to less than 200 passing yards, and that's really the story of the game, guys.
Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on fourth down. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Big tight end makes the grab, first down, still on his feet. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep him from getting the first down.
When offenses get first downs like this and they move the sticks and they get some momentum, look at what they do. They put their foot on the gas, run this no-huddle.
Fakes and grab at the 25, and there's room. Chopping up this defense, and they've got it all the way down to the 23.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at them. They're right back on the football, ready to run another play.
It's complete to the left. And tight coverage right there, but he makes the grab, and they've got it on the 11 and a red zone chance. Looking downfield on first down. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. And the Spartans have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Back open in the middle. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. 3rd and long, and they can get the first down without scoring a touchdown. From the gun, wants to pass. He wants it all. Touchdown, Sparty. Quick strike through the air for the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the defense because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. They saw what happened on that last scoring drive, and now probably feeling a little bit of heat to answer. This offense has it with really good field position. Quarterback making checks. They'll start this drive going to the air. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense.
Man, it didn't take long for the defense to get home on that play. You see them playing man coverage in the back end, slowing down the routes from the receivers and the rest of the offense. That forced the quarterback to have to hold on to it for just a split second longer, and they were able to get the sack.
He goes out of bounds after the big play, but there is a penalty marker on the field. Let's see what that one's about. A solid gain on that one, and it goes for naught as the penalty will back them up. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. The short hands, it's Lawrence. And they'll knock him down. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Quarterback by himself in the backfield. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Quick strike complete. Moving deeper into enemy territory. Move the chains. It's first down at the 27. The Nittany Lions come to the line with a fresh set of downs. To the air on first down. Complete downfield. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to do it. They ought to be able to run out the clock from here. So close to cashing it in for this offense. He'll set up to throw. He's going for the goal line. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! And they take it in for 6 more points. They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3. Right on the money. Got the completion, but couldn't quite maneuver his way in. He'll be inches short of the score. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Spartans have it back on offense, hoping to play some good ball. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at...
And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. To the air on second down. On target to the left. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
Good enough for first down.
Looking to throw on first down. Rush coming in high, and they got him at the 29. The Spartans headed quickly to the line.
Brings up second down.
Second down, they'll go to the air. It's complete on the right side. Stumbled to the ground. They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds the tight end. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain. Now on fourth down and 5, they'll try to move the chains. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Catches it past the sticks and still on his feet. Turns out to be an easy conversion for this offense as they move the chains on fourth down. And they'll get to the line and spike it to stop the clock.
No gain on the play. Second down coming up.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Looking to fire. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. Now third and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. Pressure coming. Oh, and he dropped it. He had a touchdown right in his hands and couldn't hang on. It'll be fourth down.
This defense has just been all over this guy all game long. Under pressure, they're finding a way to get to him and affect his rhythm. Of course, they have an interception in this game. That's why they've got a big lead here in the fourth quarter. This guy has never gotten into a...
Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan State. Grabbed in the end zone and put 6 on the board.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
Time is against them, still down by 2 scores, but they'll line up for the onside kick.
And this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time, when you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
Quarterback stands alone, all wide receivers. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. It's on target and complete. It's a fumble. And the fumble is going to go out of bounds, and the offense will maintain possession. And wait just a second, the official's going to take a second look at this one. So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. They get the timeout called, 11 seconds remaining to play. Second down coming up. Back to pass. Unleashes one deep. And it's a touchdown. It is also a play in which there is a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. Maybe a momentary scare for that offense when they saw the flag. It's on the defense, declined, and the touchdown stands. And no problem on the extra point as they push the lead to 19 here in the fourth. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. One more play to pad the stats. They'll use the timeout. 6 seconds left on the clock. Wants to throw on first down. He's taking a deep shot. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. There's a long and storied history of great games between these two rivals, and this chapter adds another to that legacy.
Really impressed by the poise by the winning team as well here. They weren't overhyped in this game. They came out, they looked prepared, they were calm, definitely confident. David, they were able to go out and execute well enough to get this win.
And it's hard in these rivalry games with all the emotions running so deep. Like, you sometimes get over